What's up, guys? Pokémon here. We got a heated video we're going to go through. I've received text messages. I've received emails on this. I've seen other people commenting on videos about this. Let's talk about Pokemon. Investing wise. Let's put some of this shit to bed, guys, because people just don't understand how stock market works, how the mutual fund works, S&P 500, 401k plans. People don't understand how this stuff works. They think they have a general understanding and they try to mix them all together. Let's put this stuff to bed and compare Pokemon to your actual portfolio for retirement, whatever it may be. We're going to do this super simple. We're going to do this in very layman's terms. I'm not a super smart individual, so I got to make this so it's easy enough for me to understand, and then I want to try to explain it to everybody. If I'm wrong in every sense, any sense, or if I'm right, leave a comment below and let me know. Now, Pokemon Soda, I got 355 subs. Awesome. I got 426 videos. I did get I did get an email the other day that said someone's like, "Why do you even post anymore? You don't even have as many subs as your videos." It don't matter to me. Like, I love doing this stuff. Let's talk about it. All right. Now we're going to talk about stocks, mutual funds, S&P 500. Then we're going to talk about 401k plans. Now let's talk with stocks. All right. So stock market, what that is when you buy an individual stock, it'd be like buying an individual Pokemon product. Okay. Now I'm getting heated. My glasses are starting to like fog up almost. Now, when you buy a stock, you're buying an individual stock. So I always tell people if you're buying stocks, and I'm not a financial advisor, guys. This isn't even advice. This is my perspective on it. Okay, so don't go and try to follow all this stuff and say like, well, Pokepasoda said so. Now I'm broke and I'm having to do weird things in the back of alleys. That's on you. And if I walk by and you're one of the people in the back of the alleys doing weird things, I'm going to take a picture. So be careful. Now, here's the deal: the stock market. The stock market, you buy individual stocks, just like if you bought individual, let's say, products, all right, for Pokemon. If you want to make that even a simpler thing, you have stocks versus mutual funds. Mutual funds are a conglomerate of a bunch of stocks put together. So you're buying shares of a stock that go together in a big pool. Think of it like a fish tank, okay? And you have all the rocks and stuff that are in the fish tank. All those rocks, they make up the individual fish tank, okay? They fill it. Okay, each one of those is individual stock. You're buying a portion of that fish tank when you do a mutual fund. So let's say you have a mutual fund and the mutual fund costs who knows how much. Okay, let's say you're putting $100 in towards it. Well, if that whole fish tank costs $1,000, you have a tenth of that mutual fund is what you're doing. You're buying a tenth into that. Okay, so let's say you have a set of Pokemon cards. Let's say Chaos Rising. If you wanted to buy some stuff that have high risk, high reward, okay? Let's say there's some EX cards or something like that. You could spend a crazy amount of money on those EX cards with the hopes in the future it's going to have a good return. Or you could buy the safer bet and spend more money. You could put the safer bet in buying the Greninja EX, the SIR, and just know, like, say, hey, this thing's going to probably go down a little bit, go up a little bit. It's going to fluctuate, okay? It's going to be just like a market. That's what buying individual stocks is like, okay? Now, the one thing I can tell you is the stock that comes to mind the most for me as of recent. I watch the stock market fairly frequently, and it's Carvana, okay? Not Carvana. They pull up to your house, they got a car, they dump it off, they buy your car, whatever in the hell it is, okay? Now, let's take a look at Carvana. Let's take a look at a 5-year thing for this, okay? So, Carvana in the 5 years, so we go back to August 13, 2021, 5 years ago, essentially. $72. This thing plummets down to 95 cents. 95 cents, guys. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, like, well, wait a second. Carvana at 95 cents. Well, if I bought some right now, it's at $6.56. I made a ton of money right there. Okay. Pokemon cards will do this all the time. You'll have hollows, Cosmos hollows, reverse hollows, things like that. That'll be, or even promos that will be down to like less than $1, and then they go to the $10 or $12 mark. Well, this went from 70 or 95 cents to $70 about. Now, when you start looking at this, you're like, well, wait a second. That Carvana stock, like, it's skyrocketed here in 2026 then. This thing went up to $80, okay? And if you start looking at the maxes, there was a time when these Carvana stocks, like, it was going nuts, guys, okay? They were down to like crazy amounts. And when you start looking at it, these things got over close to $100. The stock went nuts. Now, this is not like Pokemon. Pokemon cards cards versus sealed product, something different. Sealed product, you don't see this happen. It doesn't go up and down, doesn't have ebbs and flows unless it's a new release. And I can't stress enough. This Carvana stock right here, it went from 95 cents all the way to 70 bucks. That doesn't happen on a lot of stocks, guys. Not very often at all. Okay. Now let's just take some products. Let's go through some Sword and Shield, things like that. And I'll kind of give you some of my experiences on it. So remember, stocks, you're buying individual things. So either buying an individual Pokemon, maybe an individual Pokemon set, you can make it that big, or a specific card from that set. And you're going to put money into that card, hoping that it increases. That's what buying a stock is. A mutual fund would be like, hey, I'm going to buy all of Scarlet and Violet. Every set, I'm going to see what, basically they're going to do the best, the cost of average. Whichever set is going to do the best throughout all of them, okay? Because they're all going to average in there. That's what a mutual fund's are going to do. Now, the S&P 500, what that is the 500 best companies that are in basically the stock market. And if you ever watch the S&P 500, a lot of those stocks, they're in the red. Like, people lost a lot of money. Probably close to 50% of the stocks have lost money within the last year. There's a lot of stocks that are doing really good and they're carrying their way. Take SpaceX, for instance. SpaceX started out like at $125 a share, went up to like close to 195, 200, then dropped down significantly. Typically happens with stock markets. We see the same thing with Pokemon cards. When a set comes out, Greninja is almost $600, drops down, now it's about a $300 card. Okay, so you got your stocks, individual stuff, mutual funds, conglomerate, a bunch of things. You got S&P 500. That's like buying a whole, okay, a whole set of cards, whether it be Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, Mega Evolution. You're buying every product in there, right there. That's the S&P 500. Some products are going to do good. Some products are not going to do as good. They will eventually wash their way. They'll wash themselves out. Okay. Now, for a 401k plan, you're investing money in the stock market and mutual funds. Essentially, is what you're doing. It can be foreign or domestic, is what it's doing. So that'd be like if you wanted to diversify your Pokemon cards into Japanese versus English. Have both or a little bit of some of those. That'd be kind of like a 401k plan for the most part. Now, 401k plans, they'll have good returns. Okay, essentially, you have compounding interest is what you have because it goes through, a certain percent of interest, anywhere from 7 to 10% you think about in a year. Okay. Now, if you were doing Pokemon cards though, and you were having a 401k, S&P 500, stock market, whatever it is, percent gain per year, no one would do Pokemon cards, guys, because that's like a 5 to 10%, maybe 12% at the most that they're going to gain per year. Most people would say, why in the heck would I invest my money into cardboard when it's barely gaining anything? Okay. So to put that in a little bit of perspective, if I buy an ETB, let's say I bought a Shining Fates ETB in February 2022 at $50, that means 4 years has passed and I would essentially gain, let's say 10% on each of those. So the first year it went from $50, okay? Then it went to $55. The next year it gained $5.50 and went to $60.50. Next year it went to it got $6.50, went to $67 is what it did, and so on and so forth. So right now, if that was the rate that it was actually increasing, you would have things that are slowly going up. And it wouldn't be until they get to that $300 or $400 mark where that 10% actually makes a difference. And if an ETB wanted to actually pay for itself just off the interest, it would have to get to $500 at 10% to actually make $50 that year. Okay. I know this seems like a lot of stuff, but the messages I've been getting is, why would you invest your money in Pokemon cards? Why would you not just throw it into the S&P 500 or 401k plan? Here's the deal. My 401k plan, I max it out every year. So this is just kind of an investment strategy I use with Pokemon cards. Okay. Now, let's take a look at some of the stuff. I'm going to show you some of the games. You could be the worst investor in the world. And if you invest in Pokemon cards, allegedly, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my thoughts. You'd be making money. Hand over fist. Okay? You would be. Let's check it out. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Pokemon cards. We're going to go to Sun and Moon era. Okay? Let's see. I'm trying to think of Sun and Moon. Gosh, I don't even know if it's going to be in there. Let's check it out. Let's see. I don't know why Sun and Moon. It's got to be SM then. SM base set. Perfect. Now, SM base set. Let's take a look at these. You got two different ETBs. Okay, you got the Lunala one right here. Okay, Lunala ETB. This thing unopened, $260. All right. Then you got the Solgelio ETB. This one here is $250. Okay, you're probably thinking like, oh yeah, it's Sun and Moon. Why wouldn't it have been? You guys, in 2020, 2021, these were on the shelves. They did a reprint of these like in 2023 that came out again. And I'm not saying it's a reprint, they just released some more into the wild. These things were everywhere. I remember buying these for 10 bucks. Okay. So if I would have bought these for 10 bucks back in 2020, 6 years later, they're $250. That's a huge gain, guys. Huge gain. We're not talking 100%. We're not talking 200%, 250% gain on this stuff, guys. Or 2,500, for a game. Because it went from 10 bucks to like $250. That's just Sun and Moon ETBs, guys. There's all these things. I remember seeing this stuff on the shelves. These right here, the challenge boxes with the Decidueye, these ones right here came with the battle deck. These things clearanced out $15 everywhere. $15. Okay. Now let's look at some other ones. I'm going to give you one that you're going to be like, there's no freaking way. Okay. It is going to be Crimson Invasion. Okay. Crimson Invasion ETB. It's a teal looking color. This is it right here. Crimson Invasion ETB. These things right here, they're 200. That's scuffed plastic, so $230. $230. All right. Now, during the big old like bust that we had going on during COVID and stuff, and there's 9 listed. These were $3. They were clearance out at $3. I didn't buy them. Why didn't I buy them when they're on the shelves? Because Shining Fates came out. I poured all my money into Shining Fates. There was a guy that picked up, because there's no limit, I don't think he picked up anything short of 30 or 40 of these at $3 each. Because I remember when he was ringing them up, I'm like, oh, those are only $3. He goes, yeah, they clearanced them out. And I was like, oh my gosh, clearanced them out for $3. This guy, if you would have held on to him, making a fortune. Okay. This would be like buying the easiest stock in the world that you're like, I just don't know if it's going to go up eventually. This one right here, it went up. There's not a Pokemon product out there that's never went up, guys. And so when you talk about the returns that people have, if I would have put $3 into the stock market, maybe I would have hit on a stock that would have maybe 10x'd it. All right. This is insane stuff right here, guys. I'm telling you. Then we can go further onto this stuff, guys, because this is Sun and Moon right here for Crimson Invasion. We can go into Sword and Shield. Set I hate. I hate Shining Fates. This was readily available still in the Pokemon Center a year ago. ETBs for Shining Fates, $150. These are $50 ETBs. You would have doubled your money just buying these on the website last year. Double. That easy. Okay? And it's the one of the worst products ever. Let's go with another one, guys. Let's try Vivid Voltage. Okay? Vivid Voltage booster box is one of the last things to sell on Pokemon Center. Vivid Voltage booster box is, where are we at? Right here. Okay. Imperfections bottom tier, Imperfections top tier, good seller, $350. These were $142 or whatever on the Pokemon Center site. One of the last things to sell out last year. Okay. I didn't buy them because I hate Vivid Voltage. I put too much personal care into this. I should have said, you know what? Screw it. I know it's going to go up. That's the thing people have to remember. Okay. And I'm going to tie this all in to what my final thing is that I want to show you guys. I want to tell you there is not a Pokemon set out there that you could have bought and invested in, and right now you're not up on. There's not one set out there. None. Okay. Like, I can't even stress it enough. There's not one out there. And so people are like, you know what? This set sucks. I'm not going to get it. Okay. I did that. Okay. How they evolved. I totally surpassed that because I was like, I don't like the set. I really don't. Paradox Rift, I just passed it. I didn't care about the set. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Okay. And so it was what it was. Surging Sparks, I actually had a case of booster boxes ordered, but by the time the hype went up and stuff like that, the guy that was going to get them for me distro shorted him, so it never happened. But I mean, I'm telling you guys, there's nothing out there that you can put money into that you can say like, I just don't know if it's worth it. Here's something that's set on the shelves. One of the very last things to ever go off the Pokemon Center website. Okay. And this set on the shelves at Walmart. It's Crown Zenith. I know I shouldn't even be typing Crown Zenith because you're like, well, how's Crown Zenith setting on the shelves? Okay. Well, let me show you. It's the Morpeko right here. Crown Zenith Morpeko V Union. This is like a $45, $50 product, ancillary product on the Pokemon website forever. It has a a jumbo card with four cards that interact that go together and stuff. It's Morpeko. Okay. I think it has a playmat in there. It might have been $60. This thing didn't move on Pokemon Center site forever. Then all of a sudden one day, gone. Okay. Now this one right here, $261. $261. That's a year ago. A year ago, guys. Okay. I mean, people are like, I looked at it. I made videos. You can go back in my videos from a year ago in February, January, February, March. I'll have these on there and I'll say for buys and tries videos, I'll say, hey, check these out, guys. They're still on there if you want to get them. Now's your shot. They're gone. And now they're worth a fortune, guys. Okay. Now, where is that putting me at right now? What am I talking about all this stuff for? Let's go through it. Perfect order. Okay. Perfect order right now. If you want to get a case of ETBs, all right, case of ETBs, $697, $700 essentially. And you're probably thinking, well, I still see them on the shelves. They're $60. You guys, not one Pokemon product in the history of Pokemon producting have ever went down. All right, sorry. Kid had to come in, talk about something. I was getting really worked up. But $700, guys. I know what you're saying, but the thing is no Pokemon cards go down. Product doesn't go down. And I should put that different. Product doesn't go down. Sealed product. Cards, they'll have ebbs and flows. Sealed product. And you know what? Leave me a comment. Tell me a Pokemon product that you bought in the last 10 years, excluding the ME, okay? Anything you bought at retail, MSRP, that is worth less now than when you bought it, okay? Scarlet and Violet era and everything before that. You won't be able to find one, I guarantee it. But I'd love to see it. Leave a comment, guys. Takes me to my other one here, guys. When we look at this, I just went to Walmart today. And people were just like, I don't want it. Or not Walmart, but Target. Okay. Chaos Rising right here. 144 pack sleeves right there. Okay. 144 pack sleeve essentially is the same as buying like a booster box case. But this one right here, Chaos Rising, no available listings. Oh, that's for the Pokemon Center ETBs. This one right here, $764. I'm telling you guys, like, if you don't think that these ETBs are going to be worth, think about the most dog shit ETB in the last 2 years. And if they're not worth more now, like, I don't, like, it's so crazy. I don't know what to tell you. Just look at it, guys. Everything. Pokemon Go. People freaking hated it. I don't even know what the heck. I was filling out a survey. If you go to Pokemon Go, okay, Pokemon Go was forever out there. Now the ETBs are $161. You could buy ETB cases of this for less than $400. $400. Okay, my kids and I think we bought one for it was $350 or $375. We bought it. We opened every damn one of them. Okay, we were giving packs out at my son's birthday party is what we were doing. Okay, the other one too, these Pokemon Go premium deck holders. No one wanted these. They're too big. They're a crappy product. 9 packs that are in there, guys. These things are $100 now. Okay, I bought a case of these. Okay, I bought a case of these. I think there's 4 or 6 in a case. I bought a case of them for like $70. No one wanted them. The other ones, I bought a case of the Excruder. Where's it at? Right here. This thing right here. This box right here, $58. I bought a case of these, 6 of them, for $78, like last year this time. You guys, I don't know how else to tell you. If you say you're going to skip out on a set or skip out on a product that's maybe not going to perform well, you are leaving money on the table. If you're in this for the long haul, okay, you're going to leave money on the table. These products may not perform as fast as the other products, the hit sets, but they will perform. And I mean, I don't know. It's so crazy, but I gotta stop. I've been ranting now for 20 minutes. Remember, guys, some things in here. You got the stock market, you got stocks, you got mutual funds, okay? You got your 401k plan, S&P 500. Think of stocks. Stocks are individual Pokemon cards, possibly within a set. The whole set is the mutual fund, and you buy into the whole set, so they all equal each other out. Or you buy like the S&P 500. That'd be like buying the whole sun or scarlet and violet type booster boxes. Some booster boxes are going to do better than others. It's a bad example though, because all SV booster boxes are worth more than they were when they came out, so it's tough. The moral of the story is you really can't compare Pokemon to investing, because Pokemon's doing something that no one else would do. If you were to buy a stock, let's say people that bought SpaceX and it went from 125 to 195, they're like, oh my gosh, like you had a huge increase. Like you 70% increased on that. People would be like, you're a stock market genius. But yet when you buy a prismatic ETB at $60 and it goes to 150, $200, or if you go and buy like, Chaos Rising ETB for $60, and then in a year and a half or something, they're selling for 120, 125, and you double your money, people look at it like, oh my gosh, why you waste your money in the hobby? There's a huge, huge thing right here, guys, for investing. Pokemon, they got it going on right now. Do I think this bubble's going to pop? I don't. I don't think it pops. I think this is going to be kind of how it is. I think there's going to be some sets people skip out on, but if I were you, perfect order, perfect time to buy it. Chaos Rising, you're going to be having a chaos if you don't buy it. I guess I was trying to rhyme that. Pitch Black, you're going to be in the dark if you don't buy it. It's worth doing. So, hey guys, Pokemon Soda, remember Pokemon Soda, and remember, like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. Thank you for being a subscriber. I really appreciate it. And catch them all.